Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is things I've learned with Optic.Zai's Treant Protector in 7.14. So before I start, I want you guys to bear with me. I do love Zai, and he's probably the coolest player that I've ever interviewed in the sense of being open and chill and also beautiful, kappa pride. That being said, I'm not doing another video of him because of that. Every single tool that I used to find replays didn't have a meaningful support replay, so unfortunately, or fortunately, we're having 2 Zai replays this week and hope that's fine with you guys. The first thing you need to know about Treant, especially in this game, is how to properly utilize nature's guys. If you pay attention, he's playing position 5 Treant, which means he has no boots. With so many nerfs to Treant move speed, the way you click around the map from tree to tree is insanely important, or else you're going to be visible way too often, and that's terrible because you're going to be super sluggish and you're also going to be spotted. Look how Zai becomes invisible here. See how he walks down instead of going straight forward? You're going to reveal yourself if you do it like this, which not only gives the wards away, but it might kill you. As he goes from that spot forward, look how he always moves in a straight line from tree to tree. You might think I'm crazy, but try playing Treant and you're going to see how hard it is to do that without boots. You can also see it here, always a straight line. Obviously, to get to where Zai wants, he has to break invis, and he lays down one of the most powerful wards for the dire side. Great vision for rotations to his mid, while also getting lane vision. Crispy as hell. The strength of Treant, when in comparison to other invis position 4 or 5 heroes, is how good he is at zoning people. 91 base damage is insane, especially at this stage of the game, and it kinda compensates for your lack of armor, because people don't really want to trade against you when they see how much damage you're actually dealing to them. He's pushing the wave, but the range creep was in front anyway, so it won't make a difference as long as he takes the aggro away instantly. Which he does, and I want you to note what Zai does. CoOp can lane just fine versus Void, especially when a support is showing top. It's not a bounty hunter rotation that will kill CoOp, so he rotates to aid his safe lane. All of this while still invis, by the way. He gets a decent boop on the bird and he tries to be as efficient as possible, already getting another nature's guys on. What he accomplishes now is perfect. You can see that the clicking patterns really call for a perfect line between both sets of trees, and he can keep on harassing. He wastes the stun duration to boop the Wind Ranger, and that's almost a kill. He gets another nature's guys, and with the new buff to Lich Seed, you deal 105 damage level 1, while also slowing and healing. This skill is actually pretty damn good now, and you can cast it at least 4 times when you're level 2. Since those 2 heroes have spammable spells, he got a stick in the side shop, and you will see how much impact and damage he causes with only that item. Again, when he moves from here to there, note how he utilizes the trees. He also makes sure not to break nature's guys unnecessarily. One attack on Wind Ranger is not worth breaking it and taking harass, so he just backs off. He actually misplays breaking the skill, but his harass is still insane. Thanks to that stick he survives, he casts another Lich Seed and just keeps on piling the harass. When Phoenix gets back to the lane, pay attention how he instantly checks the inventory to look for sentries. As a Treant, you need to be vigilant, or else you might risk dying, and then the sentry investment pays itself for the Radiant team. If you watch how Zai plays, you're probably orgasming right now. He mans up on the bird since Sand King is coming, and look at the minimap. Wind Ranger is TPing right now. As soon as a hero shows up in the minimap, he walks forward, even though he was playing close to those trees the entire time, dodging the power shot. Unfortunately, he felt he could keep on right-clicking and falls, but I really like what he does afterwards. He TPs to another lane. Not only there's the chance that Phoenix already brought sentries since she's going back to the base, there's probably no sentries bottom since he was top during most of the time, at least when the supports were not bottom. Another thing to mention is Zai getting the 3rd point in Living Armour. Sometimes, if you're against a team with very little push, you can try to max Lich Seed or Nature's Guide depending on what's going on, but against a DK, there's a lot of value in being able to waste his Dragon form. So maxing Living Armour preemptly was the right decision in my eyes. Pay attention how he wards the lane at the start here. This is not only to prevent rotations ganking CoOp, but a way to spot if someone is bringing sentries, so this ward adds a lot of value to that lane. Zai was chilling for a while, not really planning to be aggressive since Phoenix was off the map, but when an opportunity like this presents itself, you have to take it, and Zai finishes his boots 6 minutes in. Let that sink in. Midas Treants, Arcane Boot Treants, Aghanim Scepter Treants. As long as you're just in your lane, you don't really need boots that much, or Gloves of Haste for that matter. Most of the kills you're getting on this hero happens statically in lane. You will see how selfless the Swedish play this game, and it definitely pays off. Zai finds a DD as he rotates mid to stop DK's push, and the first thing to note is how he wastes the invis to first place the sentry and see if people actually know about his presence and if there was a ward before he actually commits to the other ward. He keeps on spamming Living Armour, and what would be usually a dead tower or in deny range tower is a soon to be happy tower once more. After that, Zai buys another sentry and just keeps on scouting bottom, making sure that CoOp is safe, and even tries to go for an aggressive play when he sees Void here, to maybe get a Sonic Wave going since Bounty Hunter was showing mid thanks to the sentry that he placed, by the way. Also note how he keeps on using Living Armour mid since DK ults again. And this really hurts heroes like Jakiro, Nature's Prophet, and DK that push the tower in small or medium velocity. Since he notes that his lane ward was taken down by Bounty Hunter because of the sentry. Also, if you rewind, when Zai tries to go on Void, Bounty Hunter is clearly going bottom, but he never showed there, even though they tried to dive their core. And then suddenly there he is being passed. Zai, being a tier 1 player, understands that one of the obvious spots he could have warded is here, and he got it right. Another spot could be the Oasis, but since both CoOp and DP are pretty bad stack heroes, he probably didn't care about it, so that was a pretty nice and smart guess. He gets unlucky while he wanted to ward bottom, the sentry was too deep and he loses that one. In a situation like this, I could see a ton of players being like, well, there's a sentry here, nothing I can do, better rotate lanes. Zai, though, being the tier 1 player that he is, uses the fog to bypass the sentry. Radiant felt like they were the ones baiting Zai in, but Zai spots Void time walking the dagger damage. The thing though is that Zai has a 7, soon to be 10 magic stick and 1 KHP. Since he has vision of the other cores in lanes, he baits and tanks the chrono, and with quick fingers he pops the magic stick and Living Armour, surviving the whole ordeal. Another great incentive to max Living Armour is helping the targets that faceless void chronos in the early game. Another great decision that happens here is that since Zai has vision of Bounty mid, he doesn't TP back or goes back, he gives vision of Phoenix here, giving them an extra kill since he has nothing to be worried about. He also makes sure to wait Nature's guys before going from this tree to the next one. You can see that even he sometimes forgets that he needs to walk perpendicularly from tree to tree. At the end of the day, he loses it here, but the ward gets planted anyways, and with DP dead, he heals the tower once more. As Zai rotates from mid to top to defend the tower, notice how he doesn't Living Armour when someone is attacking it. Doing that just waits the cooldown since the layers get removed way too quickly. He waits until Jugger draws aggro to cast Living Armour, and only because the tower risks falling there, which ultimately saves it. And it doesn't end here, he uses the Nature's Guys to ward while invisible, and back to healing duty he is. He spots DK going mid and needs to get a TP. Note how he remains invisible by going exactly from this tree to this one. He gives up TPing and keeps on looking for the best Living Armour target, which was definitely CoOp here. Unfortunately, an uncharacteristic mistake happens here. He moves, thus cancelling the invis when he TPs mid to defend. Since DP died, he doesn't save the Sand King and kinda wastes the ult. That's kinda bad. He can't do much here, and trying to go for a deny with Bounty Hunter close to level 6 and an ult at DK is pretty scary, so he just gets back. You can see that he kinda tries to set up in that tree waiting for the TP, but DK just disengages. As Chessie beautifully again uses the trees not to cancel nature's guys. I wanted to look at his mana levels and items. And now repeat with me, Midas is an awful item unless I'm playing Enigma or Invoker, and Rush Aghanim Scepter is an abomination on any hero. As a freaking tree that doesn't do anything the entire game, you can easily get by using nature's guys with only clarities, and even that was a rare item for Zai. He just focused in defending towers and using his invis to scout and ward. He brings himself more wards, and with the smoke they rotate. Zai plays beautifully here. He has very low HP allies, so he drops the sentry before he even knows if Bounty Hunter is there, and he will come. He's a Bounty Hunter after all, he's not farming jungle. Since he max living armor, the cooldown is low enough to save Sand King, and that's a double kill for Toguro. Again, look how beautifully he connects from tree to tree towards Void since they have intel thanks to the ward he placed. Because of that ward, they kill Void easily, and he even TPs out at the end unscratched. That's just amazing Dota, and it's all about warding. A fight starts bottom, and I'm sorry for the wonky footage. I had a medical appointment today and I didn't have time to re-record it, but look how he helps the jugger with the region and instantly goes for a sentry here. When a team wants to push, especially if they have sneaky supports like Bounty Hunter, you can be damn sure that if they're playing like crazy in this area, there might be wards placed, and that's a pretty good guess once again. He easily dewards it. Zai understands that his hero doesn't need items in the early. People are obsessed with Treant eggs like they're obsessed with Night Stalker eggs, and I mean, map control is amazing guys, but only like 30 to 40 minutes in, especially if you're not hurting your team, and I'm gonna guess that if you're actually rushing Aghanim Scepter, 99% of the time you're actually hurting your team by not being selfless and not warding and not doing what you're supposed to do. His main power spike is the ability to sneak in to get deep wards and to regen stuff globally. That's it. If you play right, the towers and Roshan's that fall will naturally give you an eggs if you want to, but this hero doesn't even farm eggs well. Treant is probably the worst farming hero in the game, and people insist on trying to farm with it instead of using the correct power spikes. But anyways, enough of a rant. Since he has overgrowth ready, note how he TPs in the fog and while invisible to set up while Void forces his tower. I'm a huge fan of him maxing his first kill since it's awesome versus Void, and I mean most of the time he won't have the range to actually cast it. Chronosphere is pretty big, the cast range on Lich City is kinda bad, so I kinda agree with just maxing Nature's Guys this game. And look how he closes the gap, but he doesn't ult. This is not an easy kill. CoOp by herself probably doesn't have that much burst damage, and her TP is going to take a while since he also TP'd there. And since he was patient, he actually gets blessed by Void's mistake. They don't get the kill, but they force a very long cooldown for free, while also defending the tower at the end. Again, note how he wastes the creeps to de-aggro the tower to use the region, and stands there so that the charges don't end too fast by aggroing the creeps. That catapult was going to deal a lot of damage there, and Zai stops it and saves the tower. Look at the items he's buying. Windlace, Observer Ward, and Dust. All this hero needs is some move speed and mana, and even when he's actually ignoring a clarity to get another ward. Another important play that might go completely unnoticed is this one. Zai stops at the start of the tree line and only moves to ward later. There's a chance a ward is there, so by waiting, even if Radiant spots him, it's unclear exactly which region he committed a ward. So that's kinda smart. You can see how hard it is to maintain Nature's Guys, but he tries his best again to get it. Oops, fight starting, so he drops the ward. Tries to save the Sand King, but he dies instantly. He drops a ward, and this is a hard fight. He's super out of mana, so note how he just stands around and tries to heal people. If he shows up there, he can't really do much. So that's it. He finally gets himself some clarities, and look how he goes for the ward. The first important part is being aware that he has to follow the trees this way instead of going directly, and he lays a very underrated and hard to spot ward from the fog. In 2 minutes, he laid a ton of insanely powerful wards while helping his team win fights. You can farm 4.2k gold to lay wards every 40 seconds, or you know, just spend 180, buy wards and just lay them around. They don't have a cooldown, by the way. He makes sure to get a TP, and not by using the courier, mind you. He walks there, since as a Treant protector, you want to be off the map anyways. Another nice transition from tree to tree, which guarantees that he'll break any smoke ganks that the ward cannot cover here. Also note how he doesn't live in armor top. It's literally a waste of the cooldown, so he holds on to it because with only DK showing, he expects something to happen. But everyone will stop actually. Since he was Other Nature's guys, when he TPs his invis, meaning that they get a tier 2, they defend their own, and he can set up on the Wind Ranger here. They're also fighting in a shrine, which means that this is easily a win for the Dire team, and they eventually just win the game. Well guys, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to give feedback. That's the only way for me to know whether you like the support that I'm picking, whether you like the players that I'm choosing. If you want to know what's going on with my life, follow me on Twitter. If you want to watch me play or cast, follow me on Twitch. I actually streamed today, so if you're curious, be aware I'm trying to stream more regularly. If you want some spoilers of what's going on in my life or what's the next video, follow me on Instagram. That's the way to go. As this video is sponsored by Pvgna, they have a huge library of videos. You know that those guys will have anything regarding anything Dota related, really. And if you take your time and you watch those videos, it's gonna be way easier for you to grind MMR, I'm sure. Thanks guys, hope you had a good time. Bye. Oh, and if you want to watch the rest of the game, here's some crispy music for you.